555-1067. Make sure you take note of all these channels that I'm dropping, because we're going to be using them all through the course of the show. My name is Lola Meduteni. And as I said, today is the 22nd of February. But the last few days have been one filled with commemorations. Some of these commemorations have been tragic. Let's take, for example, 19th of February, which made it 3 years since the 110 schoolgirls were kidnapped by the Boko Haram terrorist group from the Government Girls Science and Technical College. While all the girls who survived have since been released, the same cannot be said for Leah Sharibu, the Christian girl who refused to abandon her faith and convert to Islam. However, that is not our issue of the day. 20th of February was another moody milestone as it marked 4 months, as well as the 120th day since soldiers allegedly fired live ammunition at NSAS protesters at Lekki Tollgate. Even as another 6 NSAS protesters were 2 days ago jailed for holding a memorial in its remembrance. Well, that is also worth considering. That too is not our issue of the day. Now, yesterday was 21st of February, and it was International Mother Language Day, which is held each year to promote multilingualism, as well as the awareness of the diversity of our culture and language. Maybe to spice things up on Panorama and as a nod to International Mother Language Day, I will ask you that you greet us in your native tongue when you call or comment, if you would oblige me, that is. We also must express our sorrow at the death of the 7 people aboard the Nigerian military plane that crashed on approach to the Abuja airport. That happened yesterday. May their souls rest in peace. Now, let's circle back to our issue of the day, which happened on the 18th of February in Imo State, as there were reports of a military airstrike and an aerial bombardment of the urban town of Olu. These reports circulated on social media. It has since then been confirmed, both by the military and the Imo State government, that a land and air operation was indeed launched against operatives of Eastern Security Network, ESN, believed to be in the forest of Olu and its environs, specifically at Orsu local government area, a camp which is at a boundary between Imo and Anambra states. If you recall, at the end of January this year, there was a gun battle between the Nigerian army and suspected members of IPOB, which was connected to an alleged killing of a military officer and police personnel by suspected members of the IPOB Eastern Security Network. Now, despite criticism of the military airstrike, which happened on Thursday, which some reports allege has led to the destruction of civilian lives and properties, the Imo State government, through its Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Imo State, Cyprian Akaolisa, had justified the military operations, saying that the state government invited the military to help intervene in the ongoing and alleged carnage and criminal activities being perpetrated by members of the Eastern Security Network of IPOB. He further said that the ESN operatives were hoodlums and would be treated as murderers by the state government.
Panorama.
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 Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
The military went and flowed them out from Umutanze. They relocated to a base, a camp, where investigation disclosed that they had a camp at Oda in also local government. So for the past 2 weeks, surveillance was monitoring that place, and police will give you the true records. But I know that the information we have is that there were more than 200 people that were in that camp, and they were being trained in a very depressed groove. Nobody can enter there. They enter there from Lilu side, across one river. That is at the boundary of Imo and Anambra. That's where they are.
Now, that was the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Imo State, Cyprian Akolisa, explaining or justifying the military operations going on in the state. In rebuttal, IPOB argued that the military had no justification to launch an attack on ESN, which was a mere vigilante group protecting the people of the eastern region against terrorists and killer herdsmen, whereas bandits rampaging the country remained untouched. That's according to IPOB. Now, what exactly is happening in Imo State? We will attempt this morning to separate fact from fiction, establish the significance of events going on there, and also get to the bottom of the seeming standoff between IPOB, ESN, and the Imo State government. This is Panorama. And joining us on Panorama this morning, well, I'm sure you must have noticed the absence of my colleague, Daud Olatunji. He had some necessary things to take care of, so I will be riding solo this morning. But joining us for this morning is Daud Olatunji, who's a reporter with the Punch newspaper, as well as a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Daud.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
All right, together we'll attempt to make sense of what happened or what is happening in Imo State. But I also had an earlier, somewhat informal interview with a man named Mr. Chidi Emiagi. Mr. Chidi Emiagi is a publisher for the Nigerian News Guide, which is an online newspaper, and he's also a resident of Imo State. So he gave me a sort of on-the-ground report of what is happening there. So let's take a listen to that, and then we'll bring Daud in on the conversation. Don't forget that you can comment your thoughts on Facebook, Twitter, at Splash FM 1067. WhatsApp as well. We're online there, so make sure to check us out. Let's listen to the interview I had with Mr. Chidi Emiagi. Then we'll get back to Panorama.
Did any military airstrike happen in Olu leading to loss of lives and properties? Are you aware of anything like that?
People, they have started arresting some people. There were airstrikes. That's what I'm telling you. There were military airstrikes in Umutante, in Lilu, in Amifeke, in some of those communities around Olu. Not in Olu per se. It's the communities around Olu, suburb of Olu. Olu is an urban center. There are other suburb communities around Olu. These are the places things are happening right now.
Are you aware of casualties? Like, did any civilians lose their lives from it?
I've learned one person lost his life. That was 3 days ago. I am not, because some other people were wounded and they were running to save their life. Some are in the bushes, some are in their houses. They don't come out at all because the military aircraft will be hovering with loud noise, and sometimes you hear gunshots and the people will escape for their life. So I've heard that one person just lost his life on this side. I've not been to that place. The other day I tried to go to Solo. They turned me back. That was at the peak of the first military operation.
Who turned you back?
The army, the security forces. They had to ask me to do. I quickly did as they saw. Otherwise, they would have shot me personally. I was close to the Olo city, around where we call Nkome. That's the upper local government area of the
Okay.
They made sure I did talk and got back to where I was coming.
The state government says that the reason for the airstrike was because they're trying to flush out the camps of IPOB and ESN. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what the governor said. It's on record. He said that. He said he actually got in those military hardware and the brain behind that was to ensure that lives were not lost, was to ensure that normalcy was returned, was to ensure that peace was returned in that volatile area. But I don't think so. I don't subscribe to that very notion that there's no peace here. There was peace before the airstrike. There was peace before the military personnel started constructing Ethiopians are saying, no, you don't acquire bush. We own these bushes. You don't come here to own land. If you must acquire land, please do it in a peaceful manner. Do it in a conventional manner so that you don't just come in, you begin to acquire land by force. That is just it. Otherwise, there was peace at the region in this support.
Is Olu or Imo generally, is it heavily militarized right now? Would you say it is still?
Owerri is not affected. Owerri is a destination for over 3 million people. Owerri is the place you have Imo State University, Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Federal Polytechnic, Nekede, Amotekun, Federal College of Technology, but the place is not affected at all. So let's know what it is. Owerri is not affected. Okibu is another urban center. It's not affected. Ukuta is an urban center. It's not affected. The places in Ikedu, Ata, Uzaba, Angara, and the rest of them are not affected. But if you go to Olu is Imo West, as Olu Senatorial District is Imo West. So, but Imo East is in fact, Imo North is in fact. So, that's the place. It's not one local government. You have Ujaba affected. That's Ujaba local government. You have Olu LD affected. You have part of Olu is affected. Part of Lukwere affected. Part of Iti local government affected. So, it's not one LD. Some LDs, but they are grouped under the Olu Senatorial District, otherwise known as Imo West. We are pleaded with the governor to quickly intervene, to send these military men and military personnel back to their place. Then look for dialogue. I mean, through that dialogue, these people could be brought to order. If the personnel of police and army cannot continue to intimidate and oppress people, and you say you want them to down the tension in the place, the thing will continue to go up and up and up. And until something more extraordinary, something very grievous than what is happening now will happen.
All right, that was my brief interview with Mr. Chidi Emiagi, who is a publisher of the Nigeria News Guide, and also someone who's on the ground in Imo State. He was able to give us a better idea of what's going on there. Now, he said a few things. He made the distinction that not every area in Imo is or was subject to the military operation. Areas like Owerri, Okigwe were left out. And of course, the area in question, the area that was affected was Osu local government area. But he also sort of says that the reason for the Eastern Security Network, ESN's activities in Imo, is to keep the herders from taking over the forests, which is contradictory to what the Imo State governor has said. Imo State governor has actually said there are no herders. He even used the word Fulani herders. He said there are no Fulani herders in Imo State. And that is at odds with what Mr. Chidi here is saying, that, and also what IPOB themselves have alleged, that the reason they carry out, the ESN carries out its, in quote, mandate is to protect the people from the herdsmen, the violent herdsmen and the bandits and what have you. Now, Daud, what do you make of this?
Thank you so much, Lola. I painstakingly listened to the man that just talked, and then you see, we need to establish the fact about ESN, Eastern Security Network,
Right.
who floated it. It was voted by IPOB, and IPOB is outlawed. So you cannot use a wrong channel to fight another wrong. Two wrongs can never make a right.
Right.
Yes, they want to ensure safety of people in forest and then in farmland. Good one. Just like we have Agbekoya here. Just like
and
we have
vigilantes.
all these vigilantes. We have the OPC. You know, during from our president of the country, Olusegun Obasanjo, he outlawed OPC. He disbanded, and you have to now look at it that, okay, the governor is saying he did not recognize ESN. Some people are saying ESN has come to stay. That is one of the bone of contentions. You have to look at it that, okay, the ESN as a body is illegal. It's not legal. That is one aspect. Two, if you want to query the deployment of soldiers in Olu,
Right.
you need to also go a bit down memory lane. What led to it? They killed 4 soldiers.
Allegedly by the Imo State government.
Not even the.
Oh, you mean the gun battle that happened in January?
Yes. Now it was because of that death of 4 soldiers that led to, and police could not handle that situation. In fact, if you follow the situation, it got to a point that the special local government also a local government. That senatorial district is widely known as Olu Zone, and it has 11 local governments. It's very, very strategic in Imo State. And the Abba Kyari-led IGP special squad, when they could not match up with these people.
Mm-hmm.
They had to reinforce, they had to call for
military reinforcement.
And that is, because of that, they fled the forest. And when they got to that point, they couldn't find any. They relocated. And according to the report, what they usually do, this IPOP and ESN people, is that they just emerge from the bush, attack the military and anybody, and then went back. So the security situation there has collapsed. A responsible government will find a lasting solution to it.
Right.
And then one of the lasting solutions to that was to invite the military. And when you invite the military, they won't work like policemen, sincerely. They will do more than what, because you don't just invite them when there is no alternative. And they will do more than what you ask them to do.
Right.
So that is, you have to also understand that. And the third one is, in that zone, they have 2 active former governors.
Mm-hmm.
Ashiki Ndinwa and Rocha Okorocha. They are from that zone. And if you know, there has been very strong face-off between the immediate past governor and the current governor. So these are issues that they will continue having problems. But the question I ask myself is that, do they not have elders who can call the current governor and the former one? If 2 of them settle their it, sincerely, the situation there will be calm, sincerely. So we have to look at it beyond all these rhetorics. It has political undertone, and then it also has other things that, like, we have Sunday Igboho here, who also led some people to send some killers or Fulani away. That is what the ESN was also doing.
Right.
So we need to understand the fact that government has failed to provide security.
Mm-hmm.
People now take it as a challenge to now secure themselves.
Right. You raised a point earlier about how the reason why ESN is coming under fire is because it is a branch of IPOB. I mean, the Eastern Security Network itself was launched by the Nnamdi Kanu, who's the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, on the 12th of December 2020. And he said at the time that the security outfit would help to tackle, just like Amotekun, would help to tackle crimes and criminalities in the Southeast. So would you say that this treatment that is being meted out, because unlike Amotekun, Amotekun is not coming under fire like ESN is, neither is HISPA and other, vigilante groups. But you say that, or you are implying that it's because IPOB has been proscribed as a terrorist group. But Kingsley Moghalu said on Twitter that the reason for the situation in Imo State is because the Southeast governors, unlike their Southwest colleagues, have failed to set up effective legitimate security outfits to defend citizens in these states from marauding violent herdsmen and bandits. And so individuals and groups have naturally resorted to self-defense. Now, is ESN being treated that way because of the proscription, or is there more to it? Because the Southeast seems to be the only one that doesn't have a vigilante group that is legitimized or free from being persecuted, unlike Amotekun and Hisba.
You have to understand the peculiarity of these geopolitical zones. Southwest does not have the same problem Southeast is having. There is this fear. One of the reasons, I learned from reliable source, one of the reasons Amotekun had the initial problem with federal government was that if it allows Amotekun to stay, there will be justification for the people in the East to also say they want to launch their own. You know, they have been making frantic effort to secede. To
separate
from Nigeria. And they now see that if you now say, okay, let them have an indigenous security outfit, it's like you have aided that agitation. That is just the fear. That they know that Southwest will continue to rationalize, intellectualizing things. You won't say you want to go away from Nigeria, all those stuff. And even if you have Amotekun, we will not use Amotekun. It's like federal government even trust us more than other regions apart from the north. So there is this fear that even among the governors in Southeast, that even if they launch similar outfit like Amotekun in that region, they will have issues. Because Nnamdi Kanu has positioned himself as the leader of that region. How will he say he launched a security outfit? Who is he? That is the question. As I said, who is Nnamdi Kanu? Is he a councillor? Is he a chairman of local government? Does he have constitutional power to do anything? He's just in fact, he's not even a complete Nigerian because he's having dual citizenship. So he now said from that where he's hiding as a what was it called? Fugitive.
Right.
He will now say, okay, I'm launching. If the media should also help by not giving these outfits unnecessary publicity. Sincerely, there is nothing like ESN. It is the making of the media. The Amotekun, we all knew the origination or the origin of originators of Amotekun. We know this is an idea of
now it may not be legitimized or legal, but it exists. ESN, that is.
I'm telling you that it's just a nomenclature.
So who then is carrying out? Who is the military trying to flush out then?
Hoodlums. It's just like some people now. Let me give an example. If Sunday Igboho now establishes a secret outfit and say you want to launch it in Southwest, do you think that the media should now give it the same, put it at bar with Amotekun? It does not have that constitutional power to do that. Even the Southwest governor that exercise their power, federal government still say that, come, you cannot. What I'm saying is that there is nothing bad in having an indigenous security outfit.
Okay.
Sincerely. Because security has collapsed. They are saying that it is the governor that will kind of come up with that idea, sincerely. Even if you have a proposal, you have an idea, you submit it. That is a governor. You cannot say because governors have failed, you want to. It's like, it's even dangerous. In fact, it's one of the allegations against OPC that anybody that offends OPC people, they will just go to his house, maltreat the person in the name of what's it called? Looking for criminals. So I think we should get it right now. Eastern Security Outfits Network, rather, should not be given that status of Amotekun, sincerely, because none of the governors there accepted it. It was floated by Nnamdi Kanu. So we need to get it right. 1, 2. We should now ask the governor that for how long would they feel drag?
Right.
If they're having peculiar issue, that okay, they're afraid of boys who hijack I think there should be another way to rigor because they're having serious security issues there. Serious one.
Exactly. So they're having serious security issues and the state government is not handling it well enough. Neither is the federal government. And so there's a group of people who say, we're going to do this on your behalf.
I think they can do it.
Should the people be left to their own devices, left to be attacked by
look at how the
criminal
police
elements
is going about this special constabulary scheme. They will, before they employ anybody, before they accept anybody to work in that scheme, the person must get a letter of either authorization or letter of like a guarantor. They must get guarantor from the traditional rulers. So if this governor could also do that, okay, let's set up an indigenous outfit. But in each local government, in each ward, anybody that we are going to take must get a letter from a recognized traditional ruler. So that by the time we compile the list, we now begin work. Anybody that misbehaves, that abuses that thing, we are going to hold their guarantors. So because either they like it or not, police cannot secure them more than what they are doing. Police has a very, very low personnel. They are suffering from lack of adequate personnel. So there is need for indigenous people to support the security, like vigilante. As we are saying, we have some other very good people in Imo that can take up the job, but they should not put that security job in the hands of Nnamdi Kanu, because he has made his intention known that it is Biafra land, that they don't believe in Nigeria. So if they now give them that security job, it is very, very dangerous. Look at what the government of Imo said, that they use NSAS process to get ammunition. They attack some, it's an allegation anyway, they attack some police station and then they get rival. With what we have had so far, these people have very sophisticated rivals that can compare, that the police will run away. So I think these are issues that's why we have to renegotiate this country, sincerely. I have to really see that, okay, if you want to continue as Nigeria, as a project, you have to see that, okay, let's see, Southeast, what are your problems? What are the solutions? Let's see, and let's see how we can. It is no problem that does not have a solution. So the federal government should help, because what is happening there is serious than what we are reporting. Because these people, they were not captured, they ran away. It's like they hibernated. They will resurface and then continue their work. What is really happening? Why do we continue? Why do we need to have this very dreaded youth? It's because most youth now are unemployed. So there is need to fight this insecurity. I want to tell you, if some of these people, either in IPOB or this ESN, if they get good jobs, they will not sleep in the bush. I tell you. Because they will know that, I have some investment I want to take care of. But some of them have nothing to do. They are idle. So federal government should know that, apart from sending military to, attack them, there is need for other means to check. All these young ones, they are learning. It will be easy to recruit them. And we are talking about East. What about Southwest? All these geopolitical zones are having issues. So federal government should see that the number one solution is to get these youth occupied, get them busy with serious things. If majority of the youth are busy with good things, I tell you, they will run away from crisis, because they have issues. They have so many interests. But most youth now, they just sleep, they wake up, and if you call them, invite them to anything, ask me to join all this, I won't.
It sounds like you're echoing the sentiments of the president a few years ago, that Nigerian youths are lazy.
Not. I don't agree with that. Some are lazy, but Nigerian youth are not lazy. Some are lazy, but I don't believe all these people that even do all this internet fraud.
Right.
If you sit down with some of them, you know that they are very, very intelligent. We are wasting resources.
Okay.
A Nigerian was able to enter into American system. You know what they did? They just tried to locate him through this what's it called?
Location.
And they capture him.
All
they didn't do anything with him. They just employed him.
All right, let's open phone lines now. 0817-444-1067, 0704-400-1067, and 0817-555-1067. Those are the numbers to call. You can also tweet at us, #Panorama. Find us at Splash FM 1067 on Twitter, on Facebook at Splash FM 106.1. The WhatsApp line, which also functions as a call line, is 0817-555-1067. We have our first call of the day. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Tajidin, calling from Abeokuta.
All right, Tajudeen, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. I like the solution of Mr. Daud Olatunji. It is very, very dangerous and risky for the ESN to be allowed. There is no crime at community level. There is no crime for members of every community to have security architecture in each community, not like this kind of ESN. And since we already know the intention of Nnamdi Kanu, it is quite dangerous and risky for Nigeria to allow him set up that kind of community of security network. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tajudeen, for your thoughts. You too can make your thoughts known. If you'd like to send it as a tweet or a comment on Facebook, find us on Facebook or Twitter at Splash FM 1067. Hello. Please turn off your radio or turn down the volume. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Nicholas. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, okay, can I ask now if Sunday Igboho is a hoodlum?
How will I say that? I have no right to call anybody to call him a hoodlum.
What did Western press call him? A hoodlum or a freedom fighter?
I don't know.
Okay, have you been to Imo State before?
Yes.
Okay. In Imo State, have you been to Okigwe?
No, I've been to the state capital, Weri.
Okay, God bless you. I'm from Imo State, and I just came back from there. I've been in Imo State and in the East in the past 150 hours. There's no eastern state that the former governors did not also give land to herdsmen to graze. You can go back and I will sponsor you and I will follow you and show you where this place is. So the same issues that Sunday Igboho was crying over are happening from Ishiagu in Ebonyi to Kigwe in Imo to Bende in Abia, which I'm ready to follow you and sponsor your trip. Now, whether it is Nnamdi Kanu or not is a separate issue. And I disagree with you that the problem is between Atike Udenwa and Okocha. Atike Udenwa is no longer a factor in Imo State politics. But Olu has produced the governors in Imo State the way the Egbas and the Bus have produced in Ogun State since 1976. At the same time, when people don't intellectualize like the West, it does not mean that their vaccination is irrational. When people say you should live in peace with your neighbors, and your neighbors only want to rape your wives, kill your farmers, and destroy your farmlands, and the army and the police are struggling to defend you, it's only natural that non-state actors rise. And luckily, the Minister of Defense has told us not to be cowards. Did you hear it? The Minister of Defense of Nigeria has told us that we should not be cowards. Is that correct? Oh, did you hear it?
Yes, sir.
I want to be sure that you are following me.
I'm following.
I'll come back.
All right, Nicholas, that was
I'm enjoying your submission. Only that with you, it's like you have re-echo what I said. That all look as produced.
I think he's trying to show that there's a polarization between how Sunday Igboho is treated and how Nnamdi Kanu is treated, even though both of them, some of their actions are illegal.
You can't compare Nnamdi Kanu with Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho did not call for secession.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello, Splash.
Hi, good morning, Babarere.
I am Babarere and I'm calling from Obantuku.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. Somebody said it's for secession, wants to take Igbo land out of Nigeria. Even the governors, I've named the governor, so allow him to come up and set up that outfit they call whatever the name. It shows the effectiveness of the governor by even allowing him to, even the federal government themselves, say that you have applauded, and he said he's bringing up a unit, and the federal government is allowing that unit. Look at what happened in Olu just recently. The Buhari, the ESN, they were responsible. So I bet you can never compare Sunday Igboho. So to me, Sunday Igboho is taking the laws into his hands. I don't support it. But then the federal government warranted him to do that thing. So you can never compare Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu. And like I told you, the governors in the eastern states are to blame, or even allowing Kanu, they should go set up their own outfit, like the Southwest have gone to do. Set up their own outfit. If the federal government is not really convinced about that issue, in the federal government, the intelligence, what these people are doing, so that is how they want to that is why they want to come up from their outfit. Like I said during the governor of those states. Go to the presidency, give them the intelligence, and when he went, they gave him the support. So the governors should do something like that, get their own outfit, and let the military totally rout this ESN of it. They are not directly against Fulani herdsmen. They have ulterior motives.
They're herdsmen, Babariri.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Please, let's always note that they are herdsmen. They're not of a particular tribe. 0817-444-1067, 0704-400-1067, Twitter and Facebook. Keep your comments coming through at Splash FM 1067. Make sure you hashtag Panorama. Hello.
Hello, this is Nicholas calling back.
All right, Nicholas, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
No problem. I'll be fast. If the Eastern Security Network was formed by the Southeastern governors to protect the Southeastern states from killer herdsmen from anywhere in the world, and it had no bearing with Nnamdi Kanu, would it have some legitimacy?
Yes, okay. It will.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too. Thank you, Nicholas, for your contribution. Let's talk about the encroachment of the military, and we have complaints that the military is being overstretched. Yet, continually, the military keeps getting involved in civilian matters, which in itself leads to an atmosphere of fear and intimidation and oppression. I mean, these are people who are not trained to interface with civilians, and yet constantly the military is deployed, to handle some of these situations. Is that advisable, given our military strategy or our attempts to root out terrorists like Boko Haram and bandits and the like? Let's take this call, and then Daud will get you to answer that question. Hello. Hello.
Okay, Lola.
Hi.
Baba, back. I don't really want to tackle you personally. You were saying X-Men, people should not categorize a particular sister.
Right.
How long will we go away from the truth? It is known everywhere in the country, even the presidency. You see the body language. So why are we not nailing the nail on the head? I'm saying that is my personal tackling with you. Let us say the right thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Babari. But we have to be careful.
In Abeokuta, they had Professor Olisho Inka's house. The houses were owned by a Yoruba man. So if one Fulani herdsman commits any crime, we can say
if they are Fulani extraction.
Yes.
But when you are speaking generally, the occupation is herdsmen.
Yes.
If in that particular instance it's Fulani herdsmen who did commit the crime, you can add that. But we cannot contribute to the heightened level of anxiety that many are living in and profile a particular ethnic group because of our bias. All right.
Yes, going back to your question, I don't know if I should answer it. The word encroachment
of the military.
The word encroachment is not good. You should not use that word encroachment. They didn't encroach. They were invited. The Imo State government explained why he invited the military. And military will be invited when the police could not, what was it called? Endure
handle
again.
The situation.
So,
but there was a military involvement as well back in January when there was a clash between ESN and the military.
Because when it is beyond police capability, they will invite military. Military is the last.
Is that not indictful of the police that they cannot handle what should be civilian matters?
No, the people you are dealing with are not. They are not civilian. They are not civil.
Really?
Yes. We are talking about people that harmed, that have arms, that want to kill. In civil matters, police will definitely be invited. when it gets to a very sophisticated harm involvement, you also need to bring in people that are trained. Police are also trained, but they are trained to be more civil than the military. That is does it. And this ESN you are talking about, IPOB, what is civil? What is civil in their what is it called? Operation? Those that you see, another thing I got from this IPOB is that some of them that are members are ones in the military, and that they are dismissed or these legions. Sincerely, so they are trained officers, and they know how to handle arms. So you now say police, you now face them. It is not that police cannot to an extent, but when it gets to a point, they'll bring in the military.
And yet we get complaints that the military is overstretched.
They will definitely get overstretched because of the situation now. When what's up in the north, they are still there. In the east, they are there. And then in southwest, if not for some strategic action that were taken by southwest governor, military will have also bombarded Ogun State now. Because it got to a point, especially in your side. But it got to a point that police could not. But thank God that it was.
Is this how often the military is called to intervene in situations in other countries, even when it involves people who are armed or armed groups?
Look at what happened in Capitol. Who did you see there? You see, we need to understand the security.
Are you sure that's not because of the location where it happened? I mean, the Capitol had, the members of Senate. It's like the seat of power in the U.S.
It may be one of the factors, but you also need to look if there is a protest. Definitely, the protesters are peaceful or they are holding stick, not guns. So police definitely be brought in. But where they carry AK-47, AK-49, machine guns, definitely if there is a war has commenced. And in any war thing, the military will be drafted to that place. That is just it. You want to look at the security architecture in Nigeria, you will understand that the first security agency to approach any breakdown of law and order is police. When police could not, they not bring in fact, when military, the Nigerian army could not, they also bring Air Force. Look at what's happening in the Boko Haram camps. When they got to a point that the Nigerian soldier could not, they will bring in Air Force so that the air strike will be joined with the other strikes. That is just it.
Okay, well, let's make it one last call before we go on a commercial break. We're also going to go through the comments that we've gotten so far on Facebook and Twitter. Looks like we have our last call for the issue of the day. Hello.
Hello, this is Nicholas.
This is who?
This is Nicholas.
Nicholas, you have 30 seconds this time.
We need more of the army planes in the forest where the non-clients are moving freely with AK-47 and AK-49. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Nicholas. We have on Twitter comments from Daud Olatunji, who says, hashtag Panorama, how do we even get to the point where every region must float security outfits? How do we become so lax such that sophisticated arms and ammunition are in the hands of non-state actors? That's a valid question. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Honorable Larry Jaji, calling from the People's Parliament.
All right. Please keep your comment to 1 minute. Thank you.
No problem. I just think that if military are, brought in most cases, one would have expected that they would not be, one-sided. They will probably carry out their constitutional duty by protecting the territorial integrity of the area that they were drafted. But in a situation where we are having something that somehow it calls for question, let me allow other people to call that with Honorable Larry Jaji.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Larry Jaji, for calling. Back to Daud Olatunji's comment where he says, the signs are ominous and we cannot continue playing the ostrich. Abimbola Shobajo says, hashtag Panorama, Nnamdi Kanu is just like Omoyele Sowore. They both want the same things, which is separation of one Nigeria. So they cannot be compared to Sunday Igboho, who is fighting for the security of his people. Igboho did not for once call for the separation of Nigeria. While he continues with Lola, why would you say they should not be called Fulani herdsmen? So are they Yoruba herdsmen or Igbo herdsmen or Hausa herdsmen? Come on, you and I both know they are Fulani ethnic groups. But not only have we established that they are not always of Fulani ethnic groups, but in other professions that are commonly dominated by someone of or people of a certain ethnic group, do you call them, for example, when you say your cobbler, do you say your Hausa cobbler, even though that's more often than not, cobblers are of Hausa extraction? Do you say that? So why do you have to preface their occupation with their ethnic group if it's not out of malicious ethnic bias? Because you're not just calling them Fulani herdsmen for that reason. It's because you are tainting the entire ethnic group with a particular crime, which you believe all of them have committed, which is definitely not true. All right, let's see if we can keep this comment to 30 seconds. Hello.
Hello, yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
What's your name? Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Well, we cannot hear you, so we're going to have to go on that commercial break. When we return, we'll go to the comments on Facebook. You can still keep them coming at Splash FM 1067 on Facebook and on Twitter. WhatsApp is 0817-555-1067. We may not be able to take any more calls, but we can still take tweets and comments. So you know what to do. Head on there. We'll be right back with From the Pages when we return from this break. Stay tuned.
Don't dare touch that dial.
Ladies and gentlemen, today making a shout out. Rush Homies and Gardens. It is no longer a doubt. It has become a reality that Rush Garden Phase 1 is situated in a fully developed and an elite environment. Once purchased, you have the mouth-watering benefits of free building plan, and you get any of this as a bonus. Naira is the selling price for 1 plot of land. Obadauko is the location. You can pay 500,000 Naira as your initial payment. Rush up now and visit first floor Imano Plaza, Onikuku Road, Banshiki Abeokuta, or call 081-06-127942. 081-06-127942. This offer lasts till March 31st, 2021. At Rush Homes and Gardens, invest today and have a better tomorrow.
Do you feel the need to take your business to greater heights, grow your business and services beyond your wildest imagination, and have your business and services get to your targeted audience in good time? Worry no more. The Integrity Station, Splash FM 106.7, has got all it takes to put your business and services on the map and give you the desired reach that you need. With our affordable rates, amazing reach, and quality programs, you can rest assured that we will take your business to greater heights. Do business with us today. For inquiries and advert placements, outdoor coverage, events, and many more, contact us via telephone on 0811-249-0577 or visit our corporate office, Kilometer 1, MKO Abiola Way, Abetu Junction, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Splash FM 106.7, Abeokuta, the Integrity Station. We always have you covered.
Bùfúnmi bùfún ẹnọ̀pọ̀ ló ń ké lálẹ́ odò àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa NBI orúkọ tẹ̀tí ń gbọ́ ti pẹ́ ni ọ̀nà òun làwọn náà lè gbà sóore fún gbogbo aráàlú òun ni iléeṣẹ́ NBI Estate Limited fi wọ́n pé ènìyàn ọgọ́fà kínní ènìyàn ọgọ́fà kejì kẹ́ ẹ wá gbalẹ̀ ìlàjì plọ́ọ̀tì lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ Precious Garden máa kọ́ NBI Homes Ronda ènìyàn ọgọ́fà ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni yóò gba plọ́ọ̀tì ìlàjì lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ tó o bá ti ń bọ̀ wá gba plọ́ọ̀tì ìlàjì lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ múra sílẹ̀ lọ́kàn rẹ̀ ipe ìwọ ló ń sanwó plọ́ọ̀tì ìlàjì odindi plọ́ọ̀tì plọ́ọ̀tì ló gbà níbẹ̀ àmọ́ ìlàjì plọ́ọ̀tì jẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ fún wọn ó wàá san ìlàjì tó kù láàrin oṣù mẹ́ta 200,000 naira ńlá ń talẹ̀ láwọn ibi méjèèjì yìí 100,000 naira ló san ní tó túmọ̀ sí owó ìlàjì láti àsìkò yìí lọ títí di ọjọ́ kejìlá oṣù kẹta ńláǹfààní yìí ó mọ̀ first floor Tantalizer building opposite Láfẹnwá police station Láfẹnwá Abẹ́òkúta ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn 09073966933 09073966933.
1960 bets don't return with bigger CEO as they don't arrange new management. They don't come back better and stronger. Then they pay commission to their agents' bank accounts and winnings to their customers. Sharply. No delay. You fit do football or better games plus live bet jackpot for inside 1960 bet. Visit their website on top www.1960bet.com. 1960 bets. Play and win.
Iṣẹ́ oko ya o, iṣẹ́ oko ya, ilẹ̀ oko la wà ń tà, iṣẹ́ oko ya. Tó ní lẹ́tà lẹ́jọ́ ọ̀yá ètò wa gbọ́ o. Wọ́n January Agro Investment Limited. Wọ́n ní fáǹfààní gbogbo mùtúmùwà tí wọ́n ń pè wá pé adákùnjọ. Ẹ máa ra lẹ̀ oko 1st January so 35,000 ló ṣì wà. Láti ilẹ̀ kan rábù tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì kan. Bọ́ ọ bá ti ra lẹ̀ tó pọ̀ tó ní rábù tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì á pọ̀. Lọ́jọ́ àbáyé kòtò ìwòsàn ọ̀fẹ́ tó tó 1 million lọ́dún làwọn mẹ́rìnlá àkọ́kọ́ tí wọ́n bá pe nọ́mbà rẹ̀ ó gbà. Àwọn mẹ́rìnlá nípele kejì wọ́n plot ilẹ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ náà máa fún wọn wà láì. Àwọn mẹ́rìnlá nípele kẹta tọ́ra lè ní 35,000 títí di parí oṣù yìí sẹ́. Standing fan láàfún wọn jáwọ́ nínú ṣíṣe èméjì. 1st January Agro Investment Limited. Kúkú dùkú ni wọ́n ti ṣe wé gẹ̀rùgẹ̀rù yẹ oko là ń tà. Wá jàǹfààní ẹ̀ wò wá lọ́dọ̀ wà Ansarudin House Quarry Road ní 15 hour Abẹ́òkúta 081 65 64 65 35 ẹ pè wá síbẹ̀.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Welcome back. Panorama now in the second segment, which is from the pages. We'll be taking a look at newspaper headlines and diving deep and getting into the nitty-gritty of some of the stories. But we still have some residual comments from our issue of the day, which was examining the situation in Imo State and certain local government areas of Imo State. And we have this comment here from Critical Scorpio, who says the right to self-determination is enshrined in the United Nations. Yes, but it won't come easy. I mean, if anyone wants to, there have been factions that have broken away from countries, but it didn't come without violence and bloodshed. And yeah, no country ever willingly lets go. And here we believe in one Nigeria. Akorede Camille Adebayo says, I do not see Eastern Security Network having successful operations without the support of the governors in the region. Unfortunately, the said governors do not see any effective security function coming from anything created by Nnamdi Kanu. We have some WhatsApp messages, such as this one from Muiwa, Muiwa is again reiterating the same point, and I feel like I must make this clear, although I don't know how possibly clearer I could make it. But aside from everything I already said about why we shouldn't call herdsmen Fulani herdsmen, simply saying herdsmen will get the point across. When you say Fulani herdsmen, chances are you are doing that for nefarious reasons. And we know that right now things are tense and there's a certain ethnic profiling is definitely happening. We've had reports of herdsmen or, well, people who are believed to be of Fulani origin being attacked. I've heard stories of buses being stopped and then the passengers being asked to come down and identify which ethnic group they belong to. And those who belong to the Fulani or the Hausa ethnic group are then harmed. And the reason for this, or what contributes to this, is when we keep on spreading the narrative that the Fulani herdsmen, which groups all of them, they are definitely, even if there are some Fulanis who are engaging in, criminal activities, but there are some who are innocent, and we must give all of them the benefits of the doubt for that reason. So, Muiwa, I understand your anger, but no, I insist. We must call them herdsmen and not Fulani herdsmen. Well, Nicholas says ESN has not been known to rape, maim, or destroy farms. Soldiers should learn to remain in the barracks when there is no war. That's that on WhatsApp. On Facebook, we have Sanitarian Akinola Oluwarotimi, who says, good morning to the presenter and guests in this house. Our country is no more safe. Just of recent, I think 3 days ago, some traders coming to Abeokuta from Ayetoro were kidnapped at Oloruda by the kidnappers, and they used the phone of one of those kidnapped to go and bring 5 million naira to release them. I want to say this. Amotekun, as I know, is a leopard and lives in the forest. Our Amotekun should swing into action immediately after recruiting them and send them to the nooks and crannies of the state. I think clamoring, okay. We also have Enita Folaomi, who says, I'm a Yoruba girl and I disagree with all the analysts has been saying about Nnamdi Kanu. So it is only Yorubas that have the right to protect themselves and Igbos do not. Yorubas are okay, I don't know if Yorubas are betrayers, but he says, so you mean Yoruba leaders will now provide security for the Igbos? Please stop this tribal war. Nnamdi Kanu is not separating Nigeria. Actually, he is. He is asking that a Biafran nation consisting of only people of Southeast origin should be created. So he actually is attempting to separate Nigeria. Where is the one Nigeria, if I may ask? Okay. All right. Looks like everyone today doesn't believe as much in unity as they should. But let's go to the newspapers now and then bring Eddie Aino, who's here, into the conversation. I'll quickly run through Nigerian Tribune and the Punch newspaper, both of which I have in front of me. The major story here on the Nigerian Tribune is the Air Force saying that the crashed aircraft on surveillance mission over abducted Niger students. The riders include all 7 on board military aircraft killed after reporting engine failure. Buhari, Niger governor, others condole with NAF and the victims' families, while the Chief of Air Staff orders immediate investigation. More details on that story are on page 5. Also on page 5, Tokunbo Awolowo Dosumu says federalism remains Nigeria's only hope. Still on page 5, we've got mayhem in Imo again. This time, Okorocha has been arrested over alleged attempt to reclaim his sealed estate. If you remember, Daud said Rochas Okorocha is one of the major players, so there's some political tension there, given his history as past governor and butting heads with the current governor of the state. Many injured and vehicles vandalized. Now, moving on to page 8, tackle insecurity or quit, 68 civil society groups tell Buhari. On page 23, insecurity, Yoruba must speak with one voice now. That's according to the Alafin. There's a picture on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune of the scene of the plane crash yesterday in Abuja. Once again, may their souls rest in peace. On pages 8 and 9, on 29, 21 abducted Niger passengers have been set free as bandits killed 2 and abduct 9 others again in Kaduna. All right, on page 26, and Shasha foodstuff and cattle dealers are demanding 475 billion naira compensation as they threaten to commence strike on Wednesday. Now to the Punch, where the big story here also is the Abuja plane crash. Residents recount near-death experience. Riders, jet would have dropped on residential buildings, causing more havoc. We ran out of our houses, taking the explosion for a bomb blast. A pilot complained of engine failure minutes before Abuja crash. The rest of that story is on page 2. While on page 5, a guard electrocuted while plucking pawpaw in Lagos. On page 7, we petitioned IG on Abuja invitation over missing cows, say Ondo chiefs. On page 11, 5 Ogun refugees give birth in Benin IDP camp. Page 13, inadequate polling units may affect 2023 elections. That's according to INEC. While 35,709 applicants begin exams for 4,701 teaching slots. On page 14, again, is the story of Okorocha. This one in the Punch is phrased as Okorocha attacks Uzodinma as ex-governor wife aides are arrested over sealed estate. On page 17, beware of APC members dancing on Ige's grave. Aregbeshola says. On page 28, Nigeria has $5.83 billion undisbursed foreign loans, says the debt management organization. On page 39, finally, controversy surrounds Niger students' workers' release. Abducted travelers freed. Riders, Kangara boys still in captivity. They should be back soonest. That's according to Bello. Abductors exchanged army uniform with Kagara students' uniform. Bandits threatened to start killing us on Sunday, says released Niger passenger. And the Punch also has a picture of the carnage at the scene of the Abuja crash, as well as the names of the victims who lost their lives. We have Flight Lieutenant Haruna Gadzama, Henry Pio, Michael Okpara, Basi Etim, Olasukomi Olawumi, Ugochukwu Oluka, and Adewale Johnson. May their souls rest in peace. Time to bring Eddie into the conversation. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, Lola, and hello out there.
Trust you had a restful weekend.
Yeah, I did, and you?
I did too.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, let's dive in straight. Let's start with the news, the welcome news that the students who were abducted in Kangara, some of them anyway, have been released. That's on page 39 of the Punch newspaper, and it's also on pages 8 and 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. I'm just going to get the scoop on that story here. I have it now. It says all the 21 passengers on board the Niger State Transport Authority bus recently abducted on the Kotangora Zunguru Road in Niger State by bandits have been released unharmed. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy said they were released unharmed and would be reunited with their respected families any moment from now. He, however, stated that the abducted students, teachers, and family members of the staff of Government Science College, Kagara, would also be released very soon. All right, so there's a distinction. The students of the college have not been released, but the passengers of the bus who were abducted have been released. The commissioner also said there was no payment of ransom before they were released unhurt by the abductors. I think this is in contradiction to the news that surfaced that they were paying 800 million naira to the bandits so that they could be released. What do you make of this story?
Well, you know, fake news, spread, like wildfire. Because the video I watched yesterday, they were demanding 500 million naira.
The abductors?
The abductors. And in fact, you saw the condition those guys were, the people they abducted were. They were crying, begging Niger State government to come and pay for their release and what have you. Traumatized, dehumanized. You see, children. It's incredible. And the saddest part of it is, yes, if they've been released, it's good news. Good news to the people of that state, and good news to the people who have been released. At least the trauma, will have been taken off them. But we must sound a note of warning. Definitely, Boko Haram is around the corner because Niger State has been in the news for bad reasons. And if you see the spate of abductions, spate of kidnap and ransom and what have you, that enveloped that area, you know that we are in real trouble. The power they are entering on your state is dangerous.
Right.
And I think that should tell government something, that if care is not taken, they must watch those areas. And well, fortunately or unfortunately, they have over 1,000 forests in this country. And those forests link each other. Go and travel from one spot to the other, one state to the other. You see that this forest link, and those guys are there. And if care is not taken, and if you saw the kind of equipment, the kind of ammunition they carried yesterday, even the one that is bringing down a plane, it's incredible. I mean, threatening the people that we are going to kill. In fact, they threatened that yesterday they were going to start killing them one by one. And we have seen it happen.
And that's a question that we also had during our issue of the day segment. How is it that criminal elements and non-state actors keep getting access to arms and ammunition that's sophisticated enough to give the Nigerian security agencies a run for their money?
Yeah,
how do they keep getting...
How? So many sources. You have the porous borders, over 1,190.
But can it happen without the knowledge of the government?
It's happening because, one, those people who are... recall that Lawan accused the customs officers last week that they were the ones aiding the people who are gun-trotting, who are running guns. So you have people at the borders who are not doing their work, who are not working, who are probably making money there. That's one way to look at it. They come in through trucks, they come in through camel, through food, and even through the international seaports. There was one, that the Ahmed had to trace to Mile 2 in Lagos, and so on and so on and so forth. And sadly, because of ISWAP, you don't forget that there are wars going on in Syria, in Yemen, in Libya. And so the remnants of Sudan, the remnants of these people bring in arms. And when they ask for ransom and the ransom is paid, they go in there to bring arms because it's easy. Once they bring in arms and ammunition, you become the man who brought them, he becomes the landlord and he controls that area. And once the money finishes, they come back. So we have a ring. It's cyclical circle. It's cyclical operation that cannot, unless we just put a stop to it, one way or the other. But the way things are going, I'm sounding that note of warning. They are inching towards southwest. No doubt about that. Because they're already in Kwara. They'll get to Mokwa, get to Ilori, get to Oyo. And before you know it, and how are we preparing for it? And preceding that is the fact that you have now these guys driving Okada around, surrounding the whole of Southwest. And I've been mounting this thing, I've been sounding this note of warning. If care is not taken, we must be ready now. We must be ready to protect our areas. Else, those guys will enter, and they have terrible, terrible, sophisticated weapon. The one that brings down aircraft. They paraded it yesterday on the video I saw. So it's serious. If our governors think they have to be a bit lackadaisical, or unconcerned, or looking at the body language of somebody, I think I just pray, that we are not overrun. We are not overrun. But good that the boys have been released. Let's just hope that another one will not happen. From Chibok to Dapchi to Kankara, now to Kagara, and another one even happened recently. And
yes, another has happened actually in
Kaduna State.
Where there are reports that on Saturday night, armed bandits invaded Baka village in Igabi local government area of the state. The bandits had earlier attacked a residence of the late Dana Zumi Musa, where he was killed alongside his son. And they also abducted a number of persons, mostly women and children. So you keep seeing these abductions.
The abduction of women and children.
A few days, recurring.
Yes.
That it's just sending a defeated stance from the federal government. Like the federal government is helpless, or the state governments are helpless, and there's nothing they can do.
I just hope what they can do. There are so many things they can do. I mean, I hope by now our political leaders, the policymakers, those at the National Assembly now know that we are all at risk, and we are all, we can be.
No one is safe.
Nobody is safe. So, and this fifth alteration they are doing, let them do so many things that can make the states to be, able to protect themselves. The governors, for instance, let's state policing we are talking about. There is nothing you need community. For instance, if you talk of a community, just pick a community and you pick people from that area, certified by either the traditional rulers or the eminent persons there. And these guys are ready to work. You give them good money. You give them equipment to work with. I'm sure we'll
do we
get
have
over.
those things? Do we have the ammunition? I mean, even our military, there are claims that they do not have the right, the right equipment to fight the terrorists. So how then
sad.
do we give it to the
Exactly, that's
vigilantes?
sad because at the National Assembly last week, there was this issue you raised. $1 billion was released from the excess crude oil and was given to the military in 2017, 2018. What has happened to $1 billion? You are talking of, when you mention 1 billion, it's 1,000 million of that particular denomination, whether it's naira, whether it's dollars or euro or whatever. So what has happened to it? What did they buy with it? I mean, these are questions we are not these are things we should interrogate. I mean, there is no transparency about it. So it's surprising if the military is now saying they don't have enough equipment. How much do you want? How much had been given to you, and what have you done with it? That is sad. But care must be taken. This thing that is happening, I won't be surprised because I thought after Dapchi there wouldn't be any again. There was Kankara. After Kankara, there is now Kankara, whatever. Kangara. And before you know it, another one will happen because they know, especially the vulnerable ones are the children and women. Once those ones cry out, they are helpless. And so once they grab those ones, our schools are not protected. Right. I would have thought that government in Lesotho, because there was this arrangement, with an international body, with the federal government, whereby those ones brought in money, and they insisted part of the arrangement, part of the MOU is that the federal government should engage security agencies to watch over schools at the gates and everything and make gates for the schools. Again, what has become of it? Why was Dapchi? In fact, at the point in time, those Dapchi things wouldn't have happened because for almost 1 hour, in fact, where the military guys were saying was 1 hour to Dapchi, but unfortunately they called them. They couldn't make it. So what has happened to our security architecture, especially in schools, now that they are abducting and taking children and women and students?
But how many security men can we say? There are so many schools, so many.
Look, it depends.
Especially if they are stretched thin already.
Yes. Why would not recruit? That has been the question. Why not recruit? Why are we shying away from recruit?
Do we have the funds?
That's the problem. Look, a government, any government, should have looked at our population and planned ahead. Whether you're talking of housing, you're talking of health, you're talking of infrastructure, you're talking of even recruitment, you're talking of the security architecture of the country. We ought, and it's incredible that a country of 200 million people has police of 378,000. It's even to recruit 10,000 after that has been very, very impossible because of the altercation between the Civil Police Service Commission and the Inspector General of Police. So we are in serious trouble. And I think our leaders should really sit down and know that this country, if you don't want, recall, Abdul Salam spoke last week that there is conflagration. The country is on tender box, and until we do something, and they have to do something fast if you don't want disintegration. And I think the fifth alteration can do it. Let them devolve some powers to the states and give them money. I'm sure we might get over our security problems.
All right. Well, this is the second half and the final half of Panorama. It's from the pages. We're looking at news stories from the dailies, and you can, of course, react to any one of them, either one where we read the headline or one where we actually did an in-depth analysis of it. If you want to make your thoughts known, head on to Twitter, #Panorama, and drop your comments there. Facebook, just find where we're live streaming. If you head to our page, you'll find that that's one of the top posts there. We're at Splash FM 106.7. And there's a comments box in the live stream feed, so you can just drop your comment there as well. WhatsApp is 0817-555-1067, so you can drop a comment on WhatsApp as well. Now let's head back to Imo State again, where I'm sure this is not coming as news to you, but the ex-governor of Imo State has been arrested, and it said in the newspaper that it's over his alleged attempts to reclaim his sealed estate. But let's pause and take this telephone call, and then we'll get to the story of what's happening in Imo. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Uche calling from Abeokuta.
All right, Uche, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I will start from the Panorama issue this morning. You see, what is happening in Imo State, I am not surprised. All of us know the man in charge in Imo State, how he came to power through the back door. The Supreme Court governor, he did not win election. It's only there because of the power of the Supreme Court just to put in there to serve the interest of his masters. So we are not surprised. And as it is now, it is now, and I don't know, maybe because maybe the federal government has said that the IPOB are terrorist organization, maybe Igbo people should leave themselves like that, maybe to slaughter like a Christmas good, because they are IPOB. There are insecurity everywhere. Igbos has no leaders. They are failures. They are afraid. They fail to provide security when other regions provided security for the people. They fail to provide security, and somebody see it necessary to provide security for the lives and property of his people, and now the military are going against them. Whereas there are stories of men killing people, adoption and everything, and the military are not going about it. Then it is only Imo State that maybe they have they see that it is an approved gun for them for hunting. That's good. But for the Igbo people in generally, we don't have leader. The only recognized leader we have in Igbo land is Nnamdi Kanu, whom and abroad. That's the only people we trust that can save us.
Thank you very much.
We have no leader in Igbo land.
We appreciate your contribution. We must.
Yes, please go ahead. I think this issue has been debated and has been exhaustively debated. But if you look at it critically, most of the governors are not doing anything because of 2023. Some of them have presidential ambition and what have you. And if that place is left open for rape, for kidnapping and what have you, somebody must occupy that position.
All right.
Eddie,
let's take this call, please. Hello.
Thank you, Lola. Babari calling back.
All right, Babari, you have a minute. Go ahead.
A minute. I've not called before.
You called earlier on issue of the day, and we are strapped for time, so you have just 1 minute.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Eddie. I love that your take in saying that Boko Haram are now infiltrated into this bandit. Even me, I want the federal government to really stop all this banditry. If you see the regular trademarks of Boko Haram, that is what these bandits are now doing. So I think the utterances of the military chief just yesterday, that maybe, I don't know where he got that from the 24 hours or 48 hours to rout Boko Haram. If he can do that, honestly, by 2023, all Nigerians should really rally around that man, the president of Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Babari, for keeping it under 1 minute. Now we're going to what is actually happening between the former governor of Imo State. Yes, it says here in the Nigerian Tribune that there was mayhem in Imo on Sunday as the immediate past governor, Senator Rocha Sokorocha, allegedly led a group of suspected thugs to reclaim his wife's Royal Palm apartment estate, recently sealed off by the state government. The estate was sealed off on Friday by the state government's delegation led by the Commissioner for Lands, Einaya Onwegbu, who said the government was implementing the report of a Judicial Commission of Inquiry on Land Use. The commission, he said, had recommended the recovery of the estate and possible demolition, having been built on a government land along a grain verge. On Sunday, the altercation, which ensued when Okorocha's team met with the government's team at the estate, resulted in his arrest alongside some of his appointees who had accompanied him. The former governor and his men reportedly attempted to escape when they got wind of the plan to arrest them, but they were pursued by security men who shot sporadically into the air and later captured them. Wow, definitely political undertones going on in this. But I mean, we always have this seeming rivalry between past governors and governors. I mean, you have it in, is it Kanu or Kaduna, Kankaswan? I mean, we even had Ajimobi and Makinde here in the Southwest. Why does it keep happening? It's almost as though governors, when they're in power, it's so intoxicating that, they feel, there will never be a beginning and an end, or there'll never be an end. And then they leave, and then, because oftentimes the predecessors, even if one wants to feel sympathy for them, chances are they've done it to those who they themselves succeeded. So what explains this continued rivalry between that leads into this kind of messy drama that we have in Imo State?
Well, let's first and foremost settle, make a distinction between Administrative Commission of Inquiry and Judicial Commission of Inquiry.
All right.
Administrative Commission of Inquiry, the Supreme Court had nullified it. But this is Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Recall when Atiku and Obasanjo you were in power. Obasanjo had this administrative commission of inquiry. He didn't want Atiku to contest. He wanted him out of office even as the vice president. And the Supreme, he went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, judicial commission of inquiry, because you'll be represented with the judges and lawyers and what have you. So that is what happened in Imo State. And so the governor, the present governor, yes, I mean, he's been touted as Supreme Court governor, whatever. But on this issue, on this core, he set up a judicial commission of inquiry, and they found that some lands, were appropriated by the ex-governor. So he has a case. But for the governor to now go, the ex-governor to now go there, the incumbent senator, I think it's because some people feel they are above the law. Ordinarily, he should have gone to court, to challenge that judicial commission of inquiry. It's challengeable. You say, I'm not guilty. But we knew his antecedents when he was in office. I mean, his son-in-law wanted him to be governor. His daughter wanted her to go to the House of Representatives, and so on and so forth.
So did he assume that the cloak of invisibility
exactly,
has
at that point in time, just like you rightly said, yes. Most of them, when they are in office, they are intensive. In fact, the Nigerian governors are the most powerful. They are emperors. So they do whatever they like in office. And it's surprising that when you are a governor, you now acquire, your wife acquired that kind of land and built a palm estate or whatever. And if the government said, yes, this land belongs, in fact, they wanted to use it for something, it's demarcated. That land has been demarcated by Imo State government to use it for a particular thing.
Okay, Eddie, let's pause there. We'll pick up from where you're leaving that train of thought off when we come back from this commercial break. Panorama will continue. We still have a few minutes on the clock, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Iṣẹ́ oko ya o, iṣẹ́ oko ya, ilẹ̀ oko la wà ń tà, iṣẹ́ oko ya. Tó ní lẹ́tà lẹ́jọ́ ọ̀yá ètò wa gbọ́ o. Wọ́n January Agro Investment Limited. Wọ́n ní fáǹfààní gbogbo mùtúmùwà tí wọ́n ń pè wá pé adákùn jọ. Ẹ máa ra lẹ̀ oko 1st January ṣó 35,000 ló ṣì wà. Láti ilẹ̀ kan, rábù tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì kan. Bọ́ ọ bá ṣe ra lẹ̀ tó pọ̀ tó ní rábù tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì á pọ̀. Lọ́jọ́ àbáyé kò tó ìwòsàn ọ̀fẹ́ tó tó 1 million lọ́dún làwọn mẹ́rìnlá àkọ́kọ́ tí wọ́n bá pe nọ́mbà rẹ̀ ó gbà. Àwọn mẹ́rìnlá nípele kejì one plot ilẹ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ náà máa fún wọn wà láì. Àwọn mẹ́rìnlá nípele kẹta tọ́lá lè ní 35,000. Títí di parí oṣù jíṣẹ́. Standing fan láàfún wọn jáwọ́ nínú ṣíṣe méjì. 1st January Agro Investment Limited. Kúkúdùkú ni wọ́n ti ṣe wé gẹ̀rùgẹ̀rù ilẹ̀ oko là ń tà. Wọ́n á jàǹfààní ẹ̀ wò wá lọ́dọ̀ hàn wá. Ansarudin House Quarry Road ní Pepsi Lava Lábẹ́òkúta. 081 65 64 65 35 wẹ̀ pè wá síbẹ̀.
Without the right frame of mind, how can you possibly be at your best? So start your week on the right note each morning by listening to Crack of Dawn, a 15-minute motivational program on a station that promotes the right values. Splash 106.7 FM. Words of wisdom, inspirational nuggets, and life advice that cuts across every area, from career and business to relationships and more, all to make you the best you can be. It's unmissable, Mondays to Thursdays from 5:45 a.m.
Ìparí oṣù kẹta làǹfààní yóò wá sópin.
Let's talk about sports. From the end-to-end stuff or sometimes ball packing and rigidity of a football game to the adrenaline pumping and high-octane energy sport of Formula One.
Well, Gerrard slipped and Debacars in here. Punishes of all people, Steven Gerrard. It's the worst possible scenario for Sebastian Vettel, who started on the second row and is now running right down at the bottom of the field.
How about the exchange of blows in boxing and mixed martial arts to games of athletics, tennis,
from close range to Canada,
golf, basketball, and more? Join the sports team for high-profile interviews, previews, and reviews on the Integrity Station, Splash 106.7 FM for Sports Cafe every weekday by 11:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Sports Cafe, all things sports, lives here.
Pẹ̀lẹ́ ọkọ mi. Dúró obìnrin, ṣé ló tún rán ọmọ ẹ̀ látàárọ̀ tí ì lọ ni? Kí ló ti wá rí lò fún?
Baálé mi, mo ti lo àpòrò fún.
Bóra àpòrò wò lélẹ̀?
Ṣé bí àpòrò làpòrò ń jẹ́?
Àpòrò làpòrò ń jẹ́ kẹ̀. Kí ló tún rán ọmọ ẹ̀ látàárọ̀ tí ì lọ? Ìyá Àyìnkẹ́, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kó iṣẹ́ ọmọ léṣe fún mi. Ṣerú mo
Tó bá jẹ́ àkúrò ẹ̀gbá lẹ́ra, ṣíbì jẹun kan lásán ti tó fún ẹni tí wọ́n bá rùn ún. Ó lè là lásán tàbí kó fi sínú omi tó lọ́wọ́rọ́ díẹ̀ kó wá mú. Inú rírun náà á lọ. Àkúrò ẹ̀gbá wà lọ́dọ̀ àwọn alágbàtà wa àti ilé ìtajà oògùn tó wà ládùúgbò yín. Ẹ pè Swarex Limited sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 081-6267-8830.
Ẹ wò ó, tí kì í bá ṣe àpòrò ẹ̀gbá, kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ bí àpòrò ẹ̀gbá.
Tí kò bá sì yí padà lẹ́yìn wákàtí 5, kàn sí dókítà rẹ o.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
All right, we've got exactly 15 minutes on the clock, and we're going to make best use of it. First off, let me allow Eddie finish off where he left off before we went on that break. We're talking about what's going on in Imo State.
Right. Well, sadly, the two individuals, the gladiators, both the former president and former governor and the incumbent governor, they are clogged. They are not good friends. There is no love between them. In fact, Okorosha did not want Uzodinma, to succeed him, but unfortunately for him, Uzodinma came in, whether through back door or through the Supreme Court. I mean, the law is the law, and he's there now, and he's challenging some of the things Okorosha did in office. And that's one thing about our governors. Our governors are too powerful. In fact, they are emperors. They control even the third arm of government, that is the local government. They control who does what there. They want to control the machinery of government. And so everything virtually, they control money, they control the machinery of government, executive, virtually everything. They through bribes, they control the legislature. So that's why they are able to do so many things they are doing. In fact, not even Okorosha alone. The man, the former governor of Enugu State, is now a senator. He had a whole estate. Because he's a medical doctor, he had a whole estate, he had an hospital, he had a communication outfit, and so on and so forth. And yet, they couldn't finish the case. 8 years after he left office, he's now a senator. And you begin to ask questions. In fact, some governors, while in their office, they build edifices that you wonder, hey, wow, why would this man build this kind of house while in office? But they are all over because they are powerful. Nobody challenges them. There are checks and balances. The House of Assembly is supposed to oversight them. But which House of Assembly?
The State House of Assembly.
Yeah, the State House of Assembly. Because he must have brought 90% of them in. When they bring out posters, they put the governor by their side to show I'm loyal to even this.
Remember what happened in Edo State?
Edo State. The lawmakers. So that's just it. It's very sad that we are seeing this kind of thing. But let whoever, whether you are a former governor or you are now a senator, you are not above the law of the land. And that's what the governor is proving to him. The man is in police net now. In fact, they are threatening to arraign him before the law court. And he
has no immunity?
He has no immunity. After leaving office, only 4 people have immunity. The president, the vice president, the governor, and the deputy. No other person has immunity.
The current governor and
the current deputies. And that's the reason why the man is in there now. In fact, I read in one of the posts, that the man took to his heels when he knew that he was going to be arrested alongside his aides, the former aides. But they ran after them, arrested them, and they are cooling their legs in police custody. It's a lesson for governors. When you are any office holder, when you are in office, behave your way. Okorocha did not behave very well. There was a time he was constructing busts, for president of other countries. Was building all kinds of things. Remember, yes, building whatever, statues and busts and what have you it was wasting Imo State governance money. Whereas there are people in Imo State.
And he's a current senator.
He's a current senator. Well, that's Nigeria for you. I mean, we don't have. Well, we vote.
Okay.
We vote.
All right. Well, let's take some calls now. 0817-444-1067, 0704-400-1067, 0817-555-1067. Hello.
Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas. You have a minute.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank the public for helping those 5 Nigerian parents to women. May God bless them, their security forces. Secondly, on the issue of the governor of Imo State, most governors, especially the former governors, if they don't build big hotels for their wives, they will build shopping malls in the east, west, or north. And it's unfortunate we are going to this kind of case in our state. The only difference between Uzodinma and Okorocha was that Uzodinma arrested Okorocha. If not, most governors and former governors have issues to settle. Some of their friends, some were enemies. And some might still come back and attend the weddings of their children. So, thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for your contribution. You can still call us. We'll keep it to a minute, though, so we can accommodate more calls. Hello. All right. Turn off your radio. I'm assuming the interference is from your radio. Turn it off. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm not body Adigo.
All right. You have a minute.
Today. Wow. So I just want to talk about 2 key issues that are paramount concern to me this morning. One, if you recall, I've been bringing it into fore quite a while here that our Western leaders, in purpose of our governors and state legislators, can't afford to keep assuming spectatorial stance over this insurrection, banditry and kidnapping. The people tailored current performances of our current set of regional leaders to see if they are indeed worth it, or if there are any differences in terms of dividends we are getting from governance. So our nationhood shouldn't be up for negotiation. Let's be realistic about our differences, identify them, announce our peculiar diversities, and work towards experiencing a true federalism. I believe that is the way forward. So good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olabode Adigun, for your comment. Let's take some more calls then. We still have a few minutes. We're keeping it to 1 minute though for each person. So if you can call and squeeze in your comment to 1 minute, that would be appreciated. 0817-444-1067, 0704-400-1067, 0817-555-1067. On WhatsApp, we have Samson U. Joseph who says, "Beautiful morning, my people. We're in for it in this country. Let us be sincere with ourselves. The Southwest and the Southeast governors are playing with our lives. Boko Haram are getting more resources through banditry and kidnapping. These guys are fully in the Southwest, but the Southwest governors are trying not to step on the toes of the Northerners because of their political ambition come 2023. Our leaders do not care about us. Look at what is happening in Imo State. The governor is quick to bring in aircrafts. Nigeria is in deep mess. It is well. Odejimi Mujib from Abeokuta says, I think Okorocha should have laid a good example as a leader by approaching the court of law if he thinks his wife's property was sealed illegally. Although his aide denied the property being unsealed, but why was he arrested if he had not acted otherwise? Everyone should respect the rule of law. Sulaiman Fasasi on Twitter says, let me thank you for the caution on the ethnic profiling. I think our people should understand this simple drift. When you profile a whole group, there is no way you get the needed support from the legitimate Fulani settlers. Crime and criminality do not have race. What is happening in Imo is the real Iberi-Berism. Okorocha was wrong to have entered the sealed property He was obviously looking for trouble, but for the governor to deploy thugs, it still beats my imagination. I saw a governor's aide ordering police officers. Sad. While a Nigerian optimist says the security of lives and property should be taken seriously by the government across board. We should all be serious with the sovereignty of our dear nation. Niger Delta fought a known cause, but what are the bandits fighting for? Yet some insincere people are calling for amnesty for the bandits, right? On Facebook, we have Ifeanyi Iwuchukwu, who said people that should be in jail are occupying high offices. Well, we can still take some more calls, but we're going to breeze through one story. If you can make it quick, though, you can call 0817-444-1067, 0704-400-1067. Let's quickly take the story of INEC saying there are inadequate polling units, which may affect the 2023 elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission has warned that failure to create additional polling units before the 2023 general elections may threaten its credibility. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, stated this during a meeting with NEC in Abuja. According to him, the current configuration of 119,973 polling units in the country will disenfranchise millions of Nigeria. Is INEC laying the groundwork for, the excuse that elections are not going to be credible in 2023? What's going on?
Well, it's sad that the INEC chairman is saying this, because he knows, the INEC chairman himself knows, that it's difficult that there is suspicion among ethnic groups, especially among leaders, political elites. There is suspicion. Some people believe that if you create more, not even minding the population, not even minding the land mass and what have you, some people believe that if you put more in the north or in certain areas, it's for you to get advantage for that particular area. And I think that's the problem. If we cannot count ourselves, then definitely we'll be suspicious of this polling booths that ought to be created, because you don't want to disenfranchise people, because more people are coming. Even take Ogun State, for instance. Ogun State is moving to different areas. And so you need to create more. You don't expect people to come from Bonogu to come and vote in.
Right, especially because there'll be no movement.
Exactly. That's the reason why he's saying it. But again, the problem is transparency. Will INEC itself be transparent in the creation of
not favor some
that is it, which people are afraid of, which people are suspicious
of. So
what
then is the solution? Should we have another census?
Well, I think we can, if they are sure, if they are transparent about it, we can still create it, create those polling booths. To take certain people along to say, okay, come and see. But the problem is, most of our policies are opaque. They are not transparent. And I think that's the reason why people always cry. We collected money from all kinds of people. One petrol plea bargaining, 2 billion from this, 10 billion from this. You sold houses and all that. We don't know the amount of money that you have garnered. And yet the country is broke. That's the reason why people will be suspicious of virtually everything that the government does. We need to be transparent, but we need those areas to capture during the next election so that we can have an election that is credible.
All right. Okay. On that note, we're going to end things, but not without taking the evils that men do leaves after them. There are more of such to come even in Ogun State. I hope that all our political office holders should learn from this. I assume he's referring to the situation between Rochas and there.
Yes, that's what he's referring to.
I hope our political office holders should learn from this and realize that power is
transient. And I think it's instructive.
Well, it should be a cautionary tale, really, but it isn't.
Because
they always forget.
Yeah, there were instances when a former governor will come back and inspect roads and what have you. I think that's what Ashwaji is referring to, but he doesn't want to mention it that way. I mean, once you leave that position, once Okorocha left that position, he should allow the man who is there now to do everything, within this power, because the constitution gives him that power at that point in time. And I think that's what Ashaju is referring to. And it's very instructive.
All right. Our appreciation goes to you, as always, Eddie Aino, for your time with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. It was good to have you. It was also great to have Daud Olatunji.
Although I missed that session. I mean, Daud and I would have, been on two different sides, because just like our brother, Nicholas,
Okay.
I would have agreed with Nicholas more,
Okay, well, maybe we may revisit that topic later in the future. But
okay.
thank you very much,
No
Daud
problem.
Olatunji, as well.
Yeah.
In absentia
Thanks,
for the
Daud.
time
He did a lot of justice.
spent with us. And also my
He did a
appreciation
lot
to
of
Mr.
justice.
Chidi Emiagi, who was our on-the-ground reporter from Imo State. Thank you to you, to our listeners, and everyone who participated in the conversation today on Twitter, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, via phone calls, or who simply listened and heard all the analysis that went on this morning. Let's do this again tomorrow from 8 o'clock. My name is Lola Meduteni. Have a fantastic morning.
Don't dare